and honestly, it's just an inferior interface in my opinion, because it lacks a lot of information. And I just like this one better, because it does provide more additional info. Like, you cannot see, for example, movement speed, armor values. And with a lot of patching the past few years, a lot of tiny tweaks like bonus damage to light and stuff, you want to do confirmation on those things, and it just doesn't happen on that different interface, so that's why I like this one way better. It just provides, it's slimmer, it provides additional information, it's color-coded, so it's actually really easy to see on the, it's easy on the eye to distinguish on which player I'm looking at right now. Right, so yeah. I just feel this is a superior interface, and we just have been working with that inferior version for so long. I've been advocating against it in any event I have been to, but unfortunately my pleas have never been heard. It's basically a... So what happened with that is they were building this new interface at Blizzard that was, you know, Ryan Shooter from... now he worked on Frost Giant. He also designed this first version of Gameheart. He was the original creator of Gameheart. Then he went into Blizzard and he created this second interface. That's the one that's, for example, Steadfast using and the big tournaments usually use. So he created that version afterwards as a second version. And it has a lot of bugs actually, which never got sorted out. And it's not actively developed anymore because, of course, Ryan Shooter is not employed by Blizzard anymore. They're not actively working on this. It's an unfinished product. It never really came to its full potential, but it was forced by WCS to be the standard interface for almost a decade. Basically, after 2016. I want to say they started to do this at 2018, so it's been like 8 years or something. They kind of forced it for the last like 4 to 5 years when WCS was still going strong. And kind of EPT made their own version of it, ESL, and they just run with it. And it's just inferior. So we're kind of stuck with a bad interface for the rest of time in StarCraft 2, it seems. There we go. Yeah, I'm very passionate about that topic. It's a thorn that I just can't pull out, no matter how hard I try. So at least on my own stream, I'm not gonna bleed to death on that frickin' hill. That's some nice micro there on the probes. Oh, can he snipe that one? He tries to go around. Oh man, this probe is going in the danger zone. Adept also trying to get some kills. He only kills a Ling here. The Lings are probably not gonna find anything. Double gateway here in the front now to finish up that wall. Got the Oracle as well. And the Adepts are gonna be caught by the Lings in the bottom. Where's he gonna throw then the third? He's gonna go outside of his comfort zone here. Yeah, meanwhile you saw how MaxPax blocked the natural base, so Solar went out to take the third base as the natural as the third and everything. But yeah, he'll basically, both players are using the same expansion patterns. And we'll have to see really on the next bases where they actually go. Usually you see the Zerg like to take this base, which is a little bit forward. Then you can always fall back as the Protoss player, for example, take a Nexus in your basically backdoor base. You kind of want to have some vision there. I'm actually curious that he has not put a pylon down there in the case of drops, in the case of a Nidus that could go up in the back of his base. Can get a Twilight Council. And Solar's actually going to take a hatchery. This is a little bit more of a macro hatchery, I want to say. He's of course going to saturate that one. But he will most likely take a 5th hatchery somewhere in the map very soon as well. A lot of the pro players' opinion on this backdoor base is like, I'm paying for a full nexus, why would I only get a half base to mine? Or the hatchery. So, except Terran players really like that one. Even though they also do the command center, they can just put it there on location, they can just start mining there, and they could, if they really wanted to, just still lift it over. You can still mine from a full base if you really want to. Ah, he does get a few kills with the Oracle, that's nice. 6 drones go down here, pretty good rotation there on the Oracle, even catching me off guard a little bit. While I was fantasizing over those bases in the back door. He's gonna throw down attack, surely he wants to get some vision now here in this back door as he sees the lair is done. That means a potential for Nidus or drops is now there, so he needs to create that vision. MaxPax is of course going into charge after he finished the blinks, going up into a robo. His Templar Archives is gonna finish in a moment, so he will probably get up into Storm. And we'll see a War Prison very soon. This is gonna be an issue here. He doesn't have any vision on that. And this will open up a path into his main base. And there's no wall. Oh, if Solar actually exploits this really hard, he waits for this a little bit longer. No, he immediately moves in with the links. And yeah, this is at a nice timing, but I feel like it's a little bit of wasted potential, because you could do this with more links, right? You could actually kill this whole mineral line. But he is pushing forward at the same moment. MaxPax tried to put Nexus down on this high yield gas, but that's not gonna work for him. Now Solar did break open that back door. That also means that MaxPax can now just take this base and have an easy rotation to that point. But he first needs to stabilize here. Solar's trying to use that, of course, as an entry. Hydra speed not done yet, so this is a little bit risky, moving so much forward, so far forward here with these Hydralisks. He's gonna break down the pylon, gonna depower the robo, gonna unpower the photon cannon in a moment. Storm is gonna land on the Hydras, but easy. Not really easy to move out of the Storm with no speed here on those Hydras, and that's where Storm is really shining right now. Wow! That's what the Hydras do say. Just in Zerg language. Archon is gonna get sniped down here. Only Stokers remaining for the defense. No more shield batteries in the natural. This was really a big mistake, letting that wall just falling without vision. It's gonna drop the robo. Another pylon does go down. Only Zealots really warping in here for the defense, but they should be able to break these Hydras now. We have +1 on the Protoss army. Does have enough finally to try and overpower this. More and more Zealots charging in here. But man, this is just not working out. More and more links also streaming in. And Solar is just holding down the link and Hydra button here. Just reinforcing this area. He wants to probably push the creep as fast as he can. Maybe even put a little bit of a creep highway to this location. He's not expanding. He doesn't have a 5th base. He just has this 4th base in his back door. And he will eventually run out of steam. And we do see no more reinforcements coming in right now. There is nothing going across the map. It's very slow. It's a bunch of Hydras. Finally, some more links coming in. But reinforcement is actually gonna be very slow here this time. And we see the snowball starting to happen for MaxPax. Starting to push this back just a little bit. He needed to throw down maybe a couple shield batteries, something a little bit extra. Maybe he was just a tiny bit overconfident, pushing out a bit too much there into the reinforcement Congo line there from Solar. And man, Solar is just letting the foot off the gas. He established another 10 Hydras here. The reinforcement wave finally hit. And damn, Storm is not gonna hit the mark here. Too many things are falling apart. Wow, that missing pylon on that frickin' wall. You think it's the most defensible base, but sometimes all it takes is 8 links working on a 2k HP stone, breaking apart that wall. Okay, so next one's gonna be White Rabbit. It's gonna be on West Central. Alright, starting the game. Quickly check this. 10k old winter. That's gonna be the next games. This is gonna be map number 2 and Solar looking good. That's the 5 of course. Solar up 1-0. Top right. The man in red. The Zerg. Solar bottom left. The man who likes to block his opponent's natural bases. It is MaxPax. Already sending out his first probe to attempt that same thing as he did in the first game. But he will not be in time, because Solar went for that extractor trick, and it was not the fastest probe. A 14 hatch or 15 hatch. And he will have his own hatch in his own base, in his own natural. I really like Brood War's music, yeah. If you watch this stream, you'll always hear Brood War music. There's not gonna be a day of SC2 music. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. Definitely signature music, yeah. Nexus into the cybernetics core, expecting none less than a Stargate here, but maybe sometimes you see the odd adept timing. MaxPax not really one to mix it up a lot though. What I really liked from Creator is a Stalker first, and then hunting down this Overlord. Actually, like, the funny thing is how Creator played this with the Stalker first is he makes the Stalker and he, I think, maybe even with a Chrono Boost, he walks across the map. He kills this Overlord, the second one. And then he walks back. That's the whole goal of the Stalker. He kills the offensive second Overlord that's just kind of hanging out in the map. He kills that one, goes back home, then he gets the Oracle, a Void Ray or Phoenix, anything, or even a Sentry that provides vision, kills the second Overlord at home. Gets rid of 2 Overlords and a lot of scaling potential for the Zerg. Also, as a Zerg, if you lose 2 Overlords that early in the game, you don't really want to sacrifice one to go in and scout what the follow-up is. So you can kind of do anything at that point, but it will be delayed. But that can, for example, be a Colossus 4 base Colossi all in, kind of, where you just go double Robo Colossi 4 bases. You can also play them on 3 bases. Then I think you can only support 1 Robo and just a bunch of Stalkers. It's like a Stalk Colossi all in. You just try to max and then frickin' push across the map and overpower with 4 Colossi and a bunch of Stalkers, like 30 Stalkers. So he has a Stalker this time, and he's trying to kill this Overlord, but he went into the Adept first, so he's not in time to have enough power here across the map against this Overlord. And he of course went into the Stargate, he reveals the Oracle, so he will kill this Overlord. But it's already a Stargate, right? It's already seen, he already reveals full information. Third is also in vision, so there's nothing that Solar doesn't know. He knows exactly where all of the funds went. There's full transparency from MaxPax here. Solar needs to be thankful for that. Oh, the Oracle! It did get 2 kills, but does lose a lot of HP here. Twilight on the way. And 2 more gates, 3 more gates actually, because that one in the wall, so we're going up to 4 gates. And that Blink, most likely, is actually making another Adept. That's the defensive one here. Probably wants to just go into that Blink upgrade into the Stalkers again. And this time be a little bit more proactive. I want to see him do more on the map beyond minute 5. Beyond what he's only doing with the oracles, because he clearly did not have the full picture in the last game. He was missing out on the fact that Solar never really went up into a big drone count, he never went up into 5 bases, and he never had any ideas of playing a macro game. He wanted to all in. And this time MaxPax is doing the same thing. So that 4 gate was really a little bit of a weird one. So he's going into the Twilight this game, he's going into a glaive after. Going into glaives after. Oh god. The Stargate, but Solar already predicting this apparently. He has a Roach Warren done. That's kind of what you want. He's gonna have a lair done. That's also kind of what you want. He will go into Roach speed most likely. Could go into armor or into missile damage, whichever would be fine here. It's not gonna finish for this adept move out though, but just having the roaches is gonna be great. And he will snowball his roach army eventually, and the adepts are gonna have a tough time. MaxPax is sitting on 4 gates only, so this is not a full-on all-in. He will try to transition out of this. There's already the blink starting, he has the +1 going on the way, and he'll most likely throw down a 4th Nexus rather soon here behind this. Let's be careful though, he's gonna try to wreak as much havoc as he can here. Spore Crawler is blocking the entry here for the adepts, but that means this base is now exposed to oracles actually. He will shoot down the queen, he will shade up the ramp, and 4 adepts are starting to work on drones. They do have the glaives, so that's a lot of power. There's also 3 more reinforcing here in that 3rd base. Oracles coming in, but the queens just have too much HP. Oh. Like sometimes there's only 2 adepts that need to survive, but this is, I think it's still a solid defense here. Solar has so many roaches right now, he should go across the map. He still has roach speed, which is gonna finish up. He's gonna have +1, which is gonna finish up, and he has free reign now on the map. He has an idle drone inside of his army. Yeah, he should go across the map and try to deny any 4th base attempts here for Solar. Sorry, for MaxPax. Oh, that's 4, man. The alley-oop. He's gonna frickin' snipe the tail end of that Oracle. And yeah, even Recall in the last one is saying like, man, I really need some stasis at home. He's going into that Storm. He's getting +1. There's a Robo starting right now. And Solar's just like, man, yeah. I guess I just make more drones. I make Hydras. I make Hydra Roach. Got the missile upgrade already. Does have already... Oh no, he lacks the Hydra speed still, I guess. Yeah, he only has 1 upgrade right now for his Hydras, and that's the range. But he will place... I guess that's a defense he made earlier. Where is the spine? Oh no, he's making one right now. Okay, that's interesting. Why would you make a spine right now? That's a very weird one to me. Both players are going very high in the worker count. But Solar looks like he's trying to gear up for an aggressive push here in a moment. He's sitting at 61 and he's going into Roach Hydra. He's just waiting for the Hydra speed, and then he'll most likely just commit across the map. This spore might be a red herring. It's like, yeah man, you see that spore? I'm droning, I'm going into late game. I'm setting up a 5th base very soon. You just see and wait. He should actually grab this 5th base. It's gonna push out the creep as well. There's a worker kind of scouting this area, but we will see actually a split scenario. Oh, that could be a pretty bad stasis for Solar. It's not. It's actually okay. He does have a big force here on the right as well, but the main force might just hit in the center. Not really sure which one's bigger. It's a pretty hefty split here on these units. He needs to be careful though. There's a lot of storm packed in both armies, and it seems like this should just not work. He is taking that 5th base, the one I was saying by the way, so he will be getting this area at least as a placeholder, but it's not going to be saturated for a while. Oh, that's such a big storm there. The storm lasts so long now, so the longer you look away, the worse it's gonna be. Still pushing the issue, but it seems like this is not gonna be broken here, and Solar is falling back, but what to? He's pulling back the army. This is only some transfer drones from the main base. He's throwing down a gas. What is he up to? Like, I don't think you can win the game like this. He needs to catch MaxPax really out of position somehow. Or like have him make a really big mistake, but that storm usage might just be a little bit too much. There's one more storm in this temp line. This is such a oh my god, clumped up army. It's so great to storm those. That feels so satisfying throwing a storm into that. He does have a few units here in the south, but only a few hydras. They will get killed. The workers really didn't get decimated at all. Only 2 did fall in total here. And look at those storms, man. They're just standing and holding the ground. They're buying so much time. This is really where you can see that the storm change in this situation does really help the Protoss. Even though he might not actually kill that many units more with it. He certainly doesn't really kill that many less either. But they'll just buy so much more time because they stay for longer. Now Solar is splitting up again his army here. Can he make something work? The Templar force is coming to the right side, but the center is a little bit exposed. That's where the reinforcements are hitting. Or maybe Solar just has found the perfect position for him to deal a lot of damage. The probes running through the storm, that's a lot of damage, and now they will run into the rest of the Zerg army here. Uh-oh, MaxPax. Did he just outposition himself a little bit? Not in the correct location. 25 army supply. Seems like Solar is starting to break him. He kills the Nexus on the right. He will kill the Nexus in the center as well very soon here. And Solar just clenched the victory again. My god, it looked so promising for MaxPax. Where did it fall apart? It felt like he was out of position once, and that's where Solar struck. Just perfect. Oh, okay, I need to open the next map. And the next map is gonna be 10k. Where's 10k? 10k feet, and that's gonna be with this one, and it's gonna be on west, central, west again. Okay. Who are we waiting on? MaxPax. 1 minute. Sure. So we're waiting on MaxPax. He asked for a minute. Go, go. So we're in a situation right now. MaxPax needs to win 3 maps in a row against Solar, who looks on fire really today. Even though there was moments where he looked like he overcommitted into those storms a bit too much. In the end, yeah, MaxPax is always playing those DGNRs now. He lives on those. Like, he doesn't get up. Honestly, Sanjay, I have had him in tournaments, like in the RSL, right? And he has, like, in the RSL we play in the evening hours on KST. That's like morning, kind of 10, 11 a.m. in EU, right? You'd think he'd wake up. Like, he messages me when he is like in the last game of the day. We have 4 games in that day. It's like 3 p.m. and he's late to his match. And he messages me with, "Excuse me, sorry, I just woke up." So that's where you know when his sleep schedule is working. He's definitely not up when the sun is up. And I'm pretty sure that's his regular sleeping schedule. Because he certainly did not adjust it for the RSL. Yeah, he just sleeps very, very late. He sleeps at like, he starts sleeping when the sun goes up and he wakes up when it's high noon or past beyond. In the winter in Denmark, he probably doesn't see the sun at all. He's basically living in Norway at this time. He just doesn't see. He just sleeps when the little bit of sunlight is there. 10,000 feet, interesting map, has this kind of weird mineral thing going on here. Haven't seen too many games on this one, it's not a very beloved map. Let's see how this is gonna work out. To me this feels like a map where you could potentially play kind of like a Colossi style or even a Mutalisk style. Just kind of looking at the map and how it's shaped. A lot of these kind of weird cuts through the map. Unpathable terrain. There's your Stargate, as is common, as is known, as is foretold from the prophecy. The Dark Prophecy Zeratul did tell everybody when the game was released 16 years ago, look out for them Stargate openings. They are coming. And they did come. He was trying to tell Kerrigan, but she just fought him off. I don't need your Protoss intel. I can think for myself. No. Now they have to deal with it. Alright, Doubling is gonna get a nice scout here for Solar. That's gonna be very... He's gonna be very happy about this, because now he can move his Overlord away. If there's gonna be a Stalker ever try to work on this one, he can actually go into the safe spot with the Overlord, like this spot. And he can still see the gases from there. So yeah. Oh, can he catch the... Oh, nice, man. The probe actually getting the last kill, I think. It might have been the Adept, but yeah. The probe definitely did do some damage. I saw the zap. There's gonna be the third base. It's gonna be the forward one for MaxPax. Solar is gonna be like a straight line into the north. We do have the Oracle come in. There's no finished up Spore. Double Queen, but not in position to start shooting from afar. Evolution Chamber does get scouted, is a little bit of a weird one, a bit of an oddball into this game, such an early Evo Chamber. Most likely a +1 melee upgrade here, but yeah, he just cancels this. I was wondering if he lets this finish after getting scouted so early, so he just cancels that, goes into a lair, produces a bunch of links, and starts up droning again. No, honestly, I wanted to see this +1 style, but this might be something where you, if this gets actually scouted, this might be something. Oh, he even scouts the follow-up, so he knows it was cancelled. But yeah, like, okay, so the reasoning is why he does that and why the things are working as they are right now and why nobody's doing what I'm saying is because of the scouting is just so good for MaxPax. He scouts the +1, basically, that was attempted on the links. So the natural response would be a Robo and Colossi. But then he comes up with the follow-up scout. And he sees that it's cancelled, so he doesn't do it. And he goes into the Forge instead. So there you go. Explained in a nutshell. So nobody gets any boni, but I guess MaxPax gets the upper hand because of the scouting and he actually plays the game he wants to play. And Solar kind of has to react to what he was trying to do, and his weird idea just didn't play off, and now he's in a timing deficit because the Hydra stand is actually quite late. I've just started this now Hydra Ling, it's not even Banes with this. And there's already the Stalkers pressuring across the map with the Oracles. The Oracles are very low though, so that's gonna be nice here for Solar to try and fend this off. But he's already working with a deficit in this whole situation here. Queens are good, but our Queen's gonna be good enough. Don't run into the stasis traps. Please use single links, defuse those. MaxPax really needs this to work. He needs this to work this game. And this is not by any means a committed attack. He's up in workers, he's still getting upgrades, he's still getting additional attack. He could try to be a little bit more aggressive around there, but he doesn't really have the infrastructure to support. There's only 4 gates, so this army was never meant to grow much, to grow too much. This is more of a pressure move to try to force your opponent to make units, and of course the stasis trap hitting as big as it did forced a lot of additional units. But those units have to do something now, unless they want to be unemployed, so he will break up the map a little bit, and he might just try to do a little bit of counter pressure. But that's also where MaxPax wants to have him, because he's gonna have Storm in half a minute. But it's not done yet. This map is surprisingly small. There's also this back door. You can mine open, but you need to do 4 trips, I think. And yeah, SOLARS just breaking up the map a little bit, that's all. It doesn't really matter because those time out anyways. Those are all like bleeding obstructions. So the overmind, they will basically bleed out, I think at minute 7:20 or something. Another stasis trap's gonna hit those links pretty hard. And SOLAR's going into the only thing he can really do from here, which is just lurker play. Trying to go up into the hive and try to play the long game from behind. MaxPax +2 is on the way. Charge is about to finish. He did just add a bunch of extra gates. He's at 10 gates, so now he can start to do something. He's gonna have that warp prism. He's gonna go across the map. He's gonna start to pressure some. He has a few zealots running into a bunch of Ling Hydra. That's a good scout. Unfortunately, it's an expensive one. But this map on, this army on the left side of the map is kind of uncontested, but it will walk into a wall of lurkers, and that's not really where he wants this game to head right now. So MaxPax is gonna rotate back. He should probably think about another transition himself. He's making more workers. Should throw up another Nexus, throw up probably that fleet beacon and get into that Stargate transition. Before those ranged lurkers are gonna hit his base. There we go. Second Stargate and fleet beacon are on the way. We'll try to go into Tempest or Carrier, which either is gonna be fine. Honestly, in this situation, on this map specifically, I think Tempest actually look really good. Oh my god, the Prism just got killed by the Spore and a bunch of Hydras. That was a very expensive loss that was filled up with the Zealots. That's 600 minerals down the drain there for nothing. That's actually really expensive. And he should probably start to chug out some of these storms. He has so many storms packed up in this army. Oh man, those links. Ooh, those will get unfrozen here. And another stasis trap is gonna help save the day here. Man, that was some great storms. He has so many High Templars. He has so many High Templars. 8 High Templars. He's gonna warp in more even? Yeah, he's gonna warp in another one. And we do see the Tempest transition starting to happen. Spire on the way for Solar. Solar is just kind of poking. He's just trying to force an overreaction. And he's also already going into that next transition step with the Spire. But this is a no upgrade Spire. It's a very low upgrade style on the ground as well. He only goes into +2 missile right now. He doesn't have any carapace or melee damage upgrades. He's going into the Adrenal, so he will try to play the long game really from there. Maybe eventually get those upgrades. Man, those links, they're so red, and the last Archon shots are gonna do the trick here. The Instructor at work. But we do have a second push here on the right. That's not gonna work out though. Oh bro, that's gonna be broken hard. And now the Tempests are here to join this fight. And we do have a bunch of Zealots actually working in the north here, killing 10 drones and ravaging this base. Now if you can keep this base alive, you kind of just need to snipe these last 4 Hydras, and then you can poke away at the lurkers there with the Tempest. The Hydras, they're trying so hard to kill this Tempest force. If he had just one shield battery. If just one shield battery would have survived. Oh, these Templars are very exposed here. That's a nice surround from Solar. Really good catch. Still quite expensive though, while he's lacking the army right now. And GG is gonna be called. MaxPax finally takes a win on the board. Okay, West Central is gonna be next. And the next map will be Old Republic. Old Republic on Central. So yeah, there we go. Alright, go, go. Let's get this running. Two to one. Solar's still on match point here. And MaxPax needs to make this work. Now this map, who's this gonna favor? I'm not really sure. It does rarely see this in any best of 5 series even. I think this map is actually good for Protoss. But we'll have to wait and see. It seems very difficult to break the 3 bases you can get, and then that's kind of where Protoss want to be. And afterwards you just kind of expand from there. You should be able to get more bases. But it's also very far, so any distance might be good for the Zerg to just take a lot of bases. Not really sure who this favors in the late game. This definitely looks like a map that kind of feels difficult to attack. Difficult to get across. Something like Nidus, something like warp gates and prisms. Those things are probably gonna be very powerful. Maybe MUTAs. Or Phoenix even. Though Phoenix can't really kill an opponent. It's just the I can't lose unit. Imagine Phoenix could shoot buildings. What world would it be? Like not flying buildings, I mean. Wait, I'd lift up a building and just kill him with a graviton beam. You need like 3 Phoenix to lift a building. 150 energy is a big commitment. And yeah, it just wouldn't make any sense because the lift would run out before they even scratch the surface of the building. But like buildings are tall enough, right? They should be able to shoot those with like air-to-air weapons. Get reduced damage or something, I wouldn't mind it. Like do half damage to buildings or even a quarter of damage to buildings. But still be able to shoot them. I mean, those are very tall and the Phoenix, they don't fly that high. Like the pool, I guess. That's difficult to hit for a Phoenix, because that's a very flat structure. Adept Stalker again here from MaxPax. Try for that Overlord assassination. Stargate will be producing the Oracle in a moment. Gets chrono boosted even on top of that. Adept going across the map here. Gonna check on the drone count, and he will just see, hey bro, are you properly making drones, or am I being all in on 32 workers? Is this a link flood, or can I play a game that goes past gateway unupgraded gateway armies? Oh bro, can you see this from over there? I guess not, this is still taller than that. But the Oracle will be enough. Provide that vision. Base going up here in the back. Stalker is gonna plug up this entry. We'll get the extra gateway. The link just comes in to see the gate go down. And Queens are gonna shoo away the Oracle and say, hey, no entry allowed. You will access denied to the Zerg base. Have to throw up a revelation and then leave, please, sir. And go back to your Protoss brethren. I was trying to go for an interception on the drone transfer, but that didn't work out here. And oh, Solar actually, oh, look at that. He's disguising the, did you see that? He moved drones, a bunch of drones from here to there to make it look like he has a big drone count. Then he did move these drones over here to make it look like just barely in vision, like he has a normal drone count, like he has 50 drones. He's still making drones, but that was kind of interesting to see. Was he really trying to disguise the drone count? Pulling drones into an oracle path is a weird thing to see, right? So that really looked on purpose, but maybe I'm mistaken. I'm not sure, but it looked like a lot of on purpose movement for me. Now Link's gonna come across the map here. And Solar will actually take a 4th base, will saturate and go above 60 drones. +1 melee. Also on the way, where is that evolution chamber? Of course this was scouted. This time it's not gonna get cancelled. I guess it was already finished up, so kinda needs to make use of that. And yeah, it's gonna be that Ling heavy style. Now he will still go into Storm. Of course Storm still works fine, just fine against this, but you can also use Colossi, because they have bonus damage against Hydras and Lings. So yeah, why not, right? They're pretty good, pretty solid, pretty powerful, and pretty infinite in their damage. No energy required for them to deal AoE constantly. Gonna be that Archon drop and an Immortal attempting to be made, but that's a good hefty supply block right now. Prism will not be spotted as of yet. I think now he sees it with the Lings. I hope he noticed. Ling is gonna get killed off. Yeah, he sees this. He even sees the Archons. The hand has been shown, but there's Hydras against this already. I don't like this. How many gates do we have? 6 gates. This is like a light pressure. But he needs to really be careful, you don't want to lose these Archons. He's gonna get a couple Overlords. He probably just wants to lose, or not wants to lose, but he'll use these Zealots as time buying machines and then just try to keep the Archons alive with the Prism. Don't expect to see a recall here. +1 range attacks now on the way as well. And movement speed. Hydras look so slow without the movement speed. But they're kind of circumventing the army. MaxPax does see them. But this is an issue. Now he kind of is boxed in a little bit there. With a bunch of Lings waiting for the probe, and it comes down and the Lings leave. Wow. Those were very, very nice Lings. Just wishing the probe a good old day on Old Republic. We have that Overseer. He has a lot of energy. He should probably goop the Forge there. Yeah, you need to goop the Forge, brother. Infestation Pit and Lurker Den on the way here. Trying to go up to that hive, but we'll play it safe with the Lurkers first. Hatchery base number 5. Hatchery number 5 coming down here. And the Archon drop is still kind of going strong, which is interesting to see here. Even though it's not really roaming much, it's not creating a lot of vision, it is kind of keeping a bunch of units back. Just staying a threat in that north corner of the map. A bunch of Zealots splitting up from the main army. Is this a little bit too much? I sometimes wonder with MaxPax. His main force, it's like 4 Immortals and 6 Templars. There's nothing to tank for any of these. And there come the Zealots in. The Prism is gonna come back with the Archons as well. They'll be dropped here on top of all of this. And a bunch of Zealots do warp in. Oh, but that is what I'm talking about. There's no front line for this army, so if it walks into any trouble, by trouble I mean lurkers in this point, just won't be effective enough to be efficient, but it's still effective enough to just beat the hell out of Solar. And Solar also didn't have a frontline for his lurkers, so MaxPax does go and tie up the series. West, center, west, and the last map is gonna be Winter Madness. Who's still in the game? Pig. Alrighty. Deciding game. Expecting cheese? No. What's in the map? No, I don't think so. Also, I don't think on this map cheese is particularly good. It's more of a very kind of standard-ish layout on the map. And I'm just expecting standard play, but from Solar I wouldn't mind like a 60, 70 drone aggression. Like Ling Hydra or Ling Bane Hydra. Try to overpower all that what he did in game number 2 with the Ling Roach aggression. Maybe even, yeah, Nidus, I wouldn't mind these things. I'm not expecting any of those. I'm not expecting MaxPax to do. But let's wait a second, we also have to think about servers. So they're playing on West. Maybe he doesn't want to play a long game against Solar on West. Of course, the latency advantage does go to the Zerg player in this case. There's a proper harassment, there's that nexus going down. When we're looking at the nexus going down, and I'm looking at the minerals always, I see them like spike up to 415, 420. Sometimes I'm like thinking back to people like Innovation. I'm thinking back to people like Innovation, and he's like, he used to be known as a machine, right? Because of his macro machinery, because of his flawless mechanics, and because of his relentless play and his efficiency, really. And there were moments you saw really, you know, when a player is insane, it's like not just a player but is actually a greatness. When you have all the pros on a LAN event, all the other pros kind of gathering behind him and just watch him play to try and figure out what he does actually better than themselves. And for Innovation, people eventually, like, they did that when he was really on his peak and he was kind of traveling everywhere. He was a lot of international tournaments, and I happened to be at a few of those as well, or a bunch of them. And I kind of noticed that people were like figuring it out eventually, and what the pros did kind of grab from Innovation and watching from behind him, they eventually would notice that Innovation would always have rallying SCVs build new buildings. He would never pull an SCV from a worker line to build anything. He would always rally a new SCV to build a new thing, like in the early to mid game. And that would just amp his mining efficiencies by so much that he had just the better timings than anyone else. And he would just be so strong in the early and mid game. And then you had like the same situation where Cyril was really hitting that peak and was becoming the invincible, right? When he was kind of manifesting that for himself. I remember being at a Home Story Cup and people just couldn't believe it. And he was just like unbeatable and they just couldn't believe it. So they gathered behind him and they just checked how he played. So they eventually like looked. They asked him about his hotkey profile and stuff like that, so it's really something to behold, and that's when you know you have actually a player that is kind of destined for greatness. When something like that happens, where the pros even can't get a handle on it. The professionals who play those guys day in and day out, they need to watch from behind actually and figure out why they are so much worse or better, you know. Okay, so this game, expecting cheese, I still say no. We do have a Roach Warren, which is kind of hidden. This base, it's not really droned up. There's gonna be 4 bases though. We have the 3 base for our Protoss player. The Forge is delayed, a little bit faster on the blink. And he will have 4 gateways in a moment. Didn't see much action yet, a couple drones, a couple links in the depth. Not many things have happened yet. Oh, what? He started burrow for a moment. I was like, man, is he gonna go tunneling roaches now? It might have just been the same hotkey as the roach speed, just on a different building. And Aspire. Roach? MUTA? So, SOLARS playing a ZVZ. And MaxPax is playing, well, Protoss. Well, let's see if Solar can defend this one. He's very light on units, only has 18 links. Kind of does not want to lose this base, but he might has to give it up because half of his links are pressuring right now across the map. He needs to buy some more time. And these Stalkers, they're gonna keep on shooting at the Sanctuary. There's also a bunch of Oracles. Reinforcements finally coming in, but he needs to be wary of those stasis traps. He got caught in the last game in a big style. And again, pretty big stasis, but we do see the pullback on the links. And they will come in for a surround here. At least an attempted surround. Ah, that's a good sacrifice there. A couple links for a stasis trap. 10 mutas. This is unknown. To MaxPax. Let's check the defenses in the main. For the mineral line. Nothing. In the natural for the mineral line. Nothing. In the third base. There's a shoot battery. There's a cannon. Okay. So if he goes in... Oh, he teched the meter. You need to cancel that egg. He honestly needs to cancel that egg. Because that's gonna reveal the whole mutas. No, he needs to cancel that muta. Oh, it pops, but it did not keep the reveal. Okay, so it... Oh, I guess, yeah, the mutas are revealed anyway, so he doesn't need to cancel anything. So what's in the main? Nothing. He's throwing down 1 photon cannon right now. He's coming in with the Stalkers, but now Solar can just do a little bit of sniping there on the moneymakers. We go rotate to the natural, but defense is here pretty late as well. More drones are falling, probes are falling, but actually Solar not making the most of this. He's really getting chased around by that Stalker army, and he didn't have another group of units set up to do anything. Second Stargate, Phoenix production starting. There's gonna be +1 for the mutas. Is he trying to make an Infestor, or is he gonna go into Corruptors or anything with this? He has so many mutas. He's just trying to overwhelm right now. It's a timing issue. If he can kill him before there's 3 Phoenix or 5 Phoenix, well then he can just kill him. 15 Stalkers is gonna be a big headache. There's also a couple of Archons to fend off mutas or links that get too close. to the actual army here. He's waiting for his +1. It's gonna hit now. In just a moment here. Fleet beacon on the way. Trying to send the signal into space here. Does commit with the mutas actually. He's trying to kill this, but yeah, I'm not sure if this is the correct way to play this. He did kill most of the Phoenix and he kills a lot of Stalkers actually. He's just fighting this, man. Insane. 22 meters still. And he's still making more. He's going into Banelings. Wow. He's so invested in these mutas. And even though the fleet beacon is done, there's no Phoenix range coming in yet. MaxPax is really struggling to make this work. How is this happening? And Lynx attacking the third base at the same time. Finally the defenses are thin. He forced the Archons off this base. A bunch of Zealots are gonna help and save the day, but man, we're just making full MUTA. It's MUTA day. Look at these probes, they're not even mining. There's a lot of idols here. We still have 22 meters, they just don't seem to die. And unless he can't touch them with the Archon or get enough Phoenix to kind of chase them down. Oh, he touches them with the Archon. The Mentor. And he immediately grows 2 more mutas. It's insane, he just makes so many mutas. Can he catch the Oracles? No, he doesn't. The Archon comes in for the defense there at the right moment. It's very many links. Like the Archons, they're gonna be his in Japanese you say Tenteki, it's his arch enemy. Thank you, Brain. Banelings coming in here on the probe line. There's gonna be some big connections. 5 do go down and more 9 do fall. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a bunch. And now the Phoenix do have range, so the meters are gonna be on a timer. He still has so many though, but he needs to bulk them now. He's starting to transition though. There we see the Hydra transition is coming in, but they lack their upgrades yet. Zealots are starting to die to Banelings. He lifts the Banes, that's kind of funny. And another just run in, roll in, roll in. Let's see how many probes we can get. 34 probes! Meanwhile, he was killing also probes with the mutas. It just seems to not stop and he gets the win. Whoa! Just kills him with mutas. Straight up mutas. Man. What a play. Yeah, and what a tournament. Solar makes it happen in the end. MaxPax almost came back, but in that last instance, Solar's just having a little bit too much there. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Make sure to subscribe and join the channels and follow the channels and subscribe to YouTube and all that good thing, and donate and what you don't want to do and where you don't want to spend money, and just do it. Do it now, do it here. Also do the free stuff. Thank you so much for watching.